Good night, Doran friends. Sleep well.
Puss in Boots. Welcome to Doran Bedtime, where sweet dreams begin. Hello, my little friend. Let's take a deep breath together. Inhale the cool night air and exhale all the tiredness of the day. The sun has hidden behind the hills and the moon is rising like a silver boat in the sky. Feel your bed beneath you. It is firm yet soft, supporting you perfectly. You are safe here. You are warm. Let's begin to relax your body, starting from the very tips of your toes. Wiggle your toes gently, then let them go still. Feel the warmth spreading up to your ankles, your calves, and your knees. Your legs are becoming heavy like stones sinking into soft sand. Relax your hips. Relax your lower back. Feel your tummy rise and fall with each slow breath, in and out. Relax your fingers one by one. Your palms are open and soft. Your arms are heavy, melting into the sheets. Relax your shoulders. Let them drop away from your ears. Relax your neck. Relax your jaw. Your eyes are closed so softly, like flower petals folding for the night. Imagine a beautiful sun-drenched kingdom far, far away. In this world, even the animals are wise and kind. Let's meet a very special friend. Once upon a time, there was a young man, the youngest son of a miller. He had no gold, but he had a friend, a cat with fur as soft as velvet and eyes as bright as emeralds. This was Puss. He was not just a cat, he was a master of his own destiny. He looked at his master, who was resting under a large oak tree. Master the cat said, his voice as smooth as honey, "Do not worry about tomorrow. The forest provides and the stars guide us. Just give me a pair of sturdy leather boots and a small bag. I will show you that the greatest treasures are found through wit and kindness." The young man smiled and gave Puss a pair of small, shiny boots. Puss pulled them on, left foot then right foot. He stomped them gently on the ground. Click-clack. He adjusted his whiskers and stood tall. He felt strong. He felt ready. He began to purr, a deep rhythmic vibration that calmed the air around him. Purr, purr, purr. Puss stepped into the great forest. The trees here were hundreds of years old, their branches reaching up to touch the clouds. He walked slowly, feeling the texture of the earth under his boots. The ground was covered in a thick carpet of emerald moss. It was cool and damp. He stopped by a small, clear spring. The water was bubbling over smooth purple stones. Babble, splash, bubble. Puss watched a golden leaf drift slowly down from a branch. It circled in the air, dancing with the wind, before landing softly on the water. The forest was full of life, yet it was so quiet. He saw a family of rabbits resting in the tall grass. Their noses twitched, but they were not afraid of Puss in his fine boots. Puss gathered some sweet wild herbs and placed them in his bag. The scent was fresh like rain and mint. He decided to share the forest's gifts with the king. Puss walked to the king's palace. The palace was made of white stone that sparkled like diamonds. The hallways were long and lined with soft red carpets. Click-clack. His boots made a gentle sound on the marble floor. The king was sitting on a golden throne surrounded by flowers. Puss bowed so low that his hat touched the floor. "Your Majesty," he said softly, "my master, the Marquis of Carabas, sends you these gifts from the heart of the woods." The king was delighted. The herbs smelled wonderful. He invited Puss to sit in the garden and drink some cool milk. The garden was filled with roses, red, white, and yellow. Thousands of petals were falling slowly like snow. Puss spent the afternoon watching the bees buzz lazily among the blossoms. Hum, hum, hum. Everything was slow. Everything was peaceful. The king began to believe that the Marquis of Carabas was a very kind and wealthy man. One afternoon, Puss learned that the king and the princess were going for a ride. They were traveling in a carriage along the winding river. The river was wide and blue, reflecting the fluffy white clouds above. Puss told his master to jump into the water for a refreshing swim. The water was warm and clear. As the royal carriage approached, Puss stood by the road and waved his paws. Help! The Marquis of Carabas is in the river. The king stopped the carriage immediately. He sent his servants to fetch the finest clothes from the palace. They brought a suit made of silver silk and a cloak of deep blue velvet. The young man put them on. He looked magnificent. He joined the king and the princess in the carriage. The princess had a voice like a silver bell. As they drove, they listened to the sound of the carriage wheels on the gravel. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The wind carried the smell of hay and wild flowers from the fields. Puss ran ahead of the carriage, his boots moving quickly over the grass. He reached a massive ancient castle with high stone walls. It belonged to a giant who could change his shape, but the castle was too big for one giant. It was quiet and lonely. Puss walked through the heavy wooden doors. The air inside was cool and smelled of old books and lavender. He found the giant in a room filled with large, soft cushions. I have heard of your greatness, Puss said, sitting down comfortably. They say you can turn into a mountain or a lion. The giant laughed a sound like low thunder. He turned into a lion, but Puss only smiled. Can you turn into something tiny? Puss asked, like a little harvest mouse. The giant wanted to impress Puss. In a puff of purple smoke, a tiny mouse appeared on the rug. Puss caught the mouse gently in his paws. Do not be afraid, little one, Puss whispered. Go out to the fields and be free. The mouse squeaked thank you and ran out into the sun. Now the castle was silent. Puss opened all the windows to let in the golden light. He found a soft velvet bed and waited for his master. When the king arrived, Puss was standing at the castle gates. Welcome to the home of the Marquis of Carabas, he said with a warm purr. The king was amazed by the beauty of the castle. They walked through the garden where the trees were heavy with ripe pears and apples. They had a grand feast at a long candlelit table. The candles flickered gently, casting long shadows on the walls. Flicker, glow, flicker. The young man and the princess talked for hours about the stars and the forest. They decided to stay in the castle and live a life of peace. Puss was very happy. He had done his work. He took off his boots and placed them neatly by the bed. He found a spot on a sunny windowsill and curled into a ball. The warmth of the sun felt so good on his fur. He closed his eyes and listened to the distant sound of the river. Now our journey is ending. The castle is still, the lights are low. The princess is dreaming of golden fields. The young man is resting deeply, feeling the cool night breeze. And Puss is sleeping by the fireplace. The fire is glowing softly red and orange. Crack, pop, crackle. The whole world is asleep. The owls are quiet. The wind has stopped. You are here in your own magical castle. Your bed is your throne. Your blankets are your royal robes. Your breath is a quiet song. In and out, slow and deep. Your legs are so heavy. Your arms are so heavy. Your mind is as clear as a mountain lake. You are drifting, floating into the stars, into the clouds. Everything is perfect. Everything is calm. Good night, little adventurer. Sleep tight. I love you.